Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. In today's C# lesson, we're gonna create a guessing game and an upgraded calculator. Let's begin. Okay, let's start with the calculator. What are we going to need for the calculator? We're gonna need two numbers and an operator input from the user, right? So two nums and then operator from the user. So let me just create, let's say int num1 and num2. And let's just say char operator. Then ask for user to give me some inputs. Enter your first number. Then I need to take that number and assign it to my num1, and of course I need to convert it first to integer. And again console readline, and let me just copy and paste this. Enter your second number. Then I have to ask user for the mathematical operation. I can just copy and paste this again. Enter the operator. And because of this data type is char, I need to convert it to char. Okay, now we are good. Actually, let me just copy and paste this. Yes, now we are good. And now what I need to do, I need to create some arguments for the operator, right? What I mean by that, if the user inputs plus, what I need to add these two numbers. If user puts minus, I need to subtract those numbers, and etc. So let me just create those arguments with if function. Let me just say if the operator is the plus sign, what I need to do, I need to add those two numbers. I can just create some result variable and add the result of this to my result variable, but I can, instead of just do this, I can just console writeline and num1 plus num2, right? Why is that? Because I can do my mathematical operations in my console writeline command. Then again, what I need to do, I need to check for the operator again. Let's just say else if, so if my operator isn't the plus sign, let me just copy this actually and say if it is the minus sign, console writeline num1 minus num2. Then again, let me just copy this. If it's a star sign, what I need to multiply those two numbers. Then if my operator, none of those operators, my operator value is none of those operators, what could be? It needs to be a divide operator. So I can just write else. So this is for the, actually it's going to be the same. Let me just put some space between that. It's going to be the divide operator. So let me just write console writeline num1 divided by num2. And of course I need to write console readline at the end so we can see the result. So when I start my calculator, I think we are going to wait a little bit. Okay, now let me just check for the plus sign. Let's just say 5, 6 and the plus sign, and as you can see my result is 11. Let me check for the minus sign, 5, 6 and the minus sign, and as you can see we have the result of -1. Let me check for the ever operator. Let's say 5, 6 multiplied by, okay, we have the result of 30. If I write 5 and 6 and the divide operator, what is the result that I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get the result of 0, guys. Why is that? Because my num1 and num2 is a integer. So let's just change that integer data type to double to get an actual result. and of course I need to change those to double as well. Then let me start my calculator again and say 5, 6 and the divide operator. And as you can see, now we have the result. But we have an exception in the divide part. Why is that? Because when I try to enter num2 the value 0, what will happen? It's going to be an exception. Why is going to be an exception? Because you can't divide a number with 0. So let me just show you guys. If I say 5, 0 and divide number, as you can see, we are getting a question mark. The computer literally asks us, what the hell are you doing? So what I need to do, I need to write an exception argument for the divide by 0 exception. So let's just say if my num2 is equal to 0, instead of trying to write my result, let's just say error divide by 0. And if my num2 isn't equal to 0, print my results. Okay, let's try that again. Let me just execute my command. Oh, I forgot the semicolon. And let's just say 5, 6 and divide operator. Okay, I'm getting the real result here. Now let me check for the exception. 5, 0 and the divide operator, and as you can see, we are getting the error divide by 0, division by 0, or you can say. Now this is our calculator volume 2 or version 2, you can say that as well. So, but I did it with the if and else arguments, right? So let's change those if and else arguments to switch. Let me write it with the switch part. Let me just delete these spaces as well. And now let me write switch. And what's the argument that I'm gonna write here? What's the changing value all the time? My operator, right? Because I'm checking if my operator is plus, then I'm doing the addition. It's like that. So I'm just gonna copy this operator and print that here. Now I'm gonna write my cases. What are those? What are my cases? My cases are my mathematical operators. So let me write case, then my operator, just put a space between, then say if my case is plus, write console write line num1 plus num2. Then of course I need to write break as well. Now let me just copy all this and paste it 4 times and change the operators. And of course, what I'm gonna enter here with an extra part, I'm gonna enter my or write my exception, right? Because if my num2 is 0, we are going to do the mathematical operation that division by 0, so I don't want that. Let's just say if my num2 equals 0 again, write an error if it's not equal to 0, do my or print my result basically. Now I can add another thing here. I can just write default. What is the default value is gonna be, or means it's going to be? It's going to say if my operator input is none of the above. So it's not plus sign, minus sign, etc. What's going to do? It's going to say you entered the invalid input. We can do the same thing with the if. I can just write if else instead of my division part. If you remember from the previous part, we wrote as in the division part. So what I mean by that, I can just else if operator division and write my comments between those curly brackets and write else console write line invalid operator. So this was the else part for this default part, or invalid input basically. Now let me just put a semicolon and break, then execute our command. Let's check every sign again. Let's just say 5, 6, then plus, I'm getting 11, 5, 6, minus, minus 1, 5, 6 multiplied by 30, so the result is 30, 5 multiplied by 6 is 30, let's say 5, 6, division, okay, we are getting 0.83, then again 5 and 0, and division, as you can see we are getting the error divided by 0, then I'm gonna enter an invalid input, let's just say 5, 6, and then A, and as you can see I'm getting an invalid input, guys. And this was it for our upgraded calculator part. Then let's move on to our guessing game. Now as for the guessing game, guys, I'm gonna create a lucky guess. So what I mean by that, I'm gonna create a lucky number and expect user to guess it while having a 3 lives. Now what I need to do, I need to create a lucky number. This is going to be the guess that user going to guess. Then I need to have some lives. Then I need the answer from the user. So basically input from the user's input. So I'm just gonna write int lucky number and I'm gonna assign it to 10. I can always change the number from here. Then I'm gonna create lives, assign it to 3. I want my user to have 3 lives. Then I'm just gonna write answer. This is going to be the user's input. I can actually, or no, I'm not gonna assign anything to it. So what I need to do to create my guess game, I need to create a loop first, right? Why is that? Because I want to ask for the user's input until my lives hit 0, right? So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to just write while my lives is bigger than 0. So when my lives hit 0, it's going to break out this loop and end my game. And while in this loop, I'm gonna ask my user's input. I'm gonna ask the user for an input. Enter your guess. I can just write here first, welcome to the guessing game. Then I can put an, or no, I'm writing it to console write line, so I don't need to put an /n. I was going to put for the line, but I just realized I wrote it the right line anyway. So I'm going to ask for the user's guess. Then I'm going to take that guess and assign it to my answer. Of course, I need to convert it to integer. Console read line. Then okay, this should be good. Now what am I doing here right now? I'm asking user for an input, then I'm getting their input and assigning it to my answer variable. Then I need to check for if this answer is equal to the 10, right? If it is, I need to break out that loop and congratulate the user for guessing the real number. If it's not, I need to ask this again. So I don't need to do anything because this is in a loop. So I'm just gonna check if answer equals to the lucky number. Let's just say console write line congrats you win. And actually I can just create here a bool variable and game, let's just say false, and let's just say end game is true. Then I can add this variable as an argument to my while loop, so my game ends when the correct answer is guessed. Let's say end game not equals to true, right? So if my end game is false and my life is bigger than 0, this will continue to loop. But if one of those arguments is false, it's going to end. Then I need to check for the end of the game. And what I mean by end of the game means if my user's lives are 0 and end game is false, I need to say you lost. And I can just write that out of the loop. If lives equals 0, or I can just say smaller and equals than 0 and end game is false, I can just say console write line, I'm sorry you lost. Then I can just write console read line here and execute my command. Let's execute the program. Welcome to the guessing game. Enter your guess. My guess is 5. Or okay, actually let's just say else. If my answer isn't equal to lucky guess, let's just say console write line wrong guess, try again. Okay, it seems we forgot to do something. What did we forget? We forgot to update our lives. So what I mean by that, if we guess wrong, I need to write lives minus minus, right? If I don't write there, I get an infinite loop. Now I start my game and say 5, 8, 9, then again wrong guess, try again, and I'm sorry you lost. Now I'm going to win the game. Let's just say 5, 9 and 10, and as you can see, congrats, you win guys. And guys, this was it for our C# lesson today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on our next C# lesson. Goodbye.